Hey everyone, welcome to Village Idiots. My name is Alex Whaley. I'm joined by Josh.
Hello. How you doing?
We are part of a world where competence means nothing. It really is all about how you play the game, and how we play is we ask the opposition if we can bat first because three of us are running late again. This world is village cricket and our team is Clapham Inn Cricket Club. Just before we go any further, Josh, I realise we haven't even really defined what village cricket is. So could you do that for us, please, mate?
Well, I'll give it a go. I'd say village cricket is the more non-competitive, friendly side of things, as opposed to the hard-hitting stuff that's played on a Saturday afternoon with sledging and stuff like that. Ours is much more civilized. You can play with a glass of wine, well, not a glass of wine, obviously a can of gin and tonic. But I'd say it's more in that ilk. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's well summed up, isn't it? Like it's far less competitive than what it is. It's more like 22 friends get together, have a few beers, and a game of cricket just happens at the same time, right?
Excellent. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I like to think of it. We have a very special guest on the show today, someone that's been within Clapham Inn for quite some time. He's certainly been there way longer than what I have, and he's going to tell you all about it anyway. We're very, very happy to have him on the show today. Radar, are you there?
Afternoon, guys. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you.
As well, mate.
Tell you what, guys, it's weird being on the other side of the curtain here and seeing, being with you two doing this. I was treating it like a Sunday morning now. I was only half listening to you. I actually realised I have to switch on to this now.
At least you got a gin and tonic to help you through.
Yeah, nearly a port and tonic, but yeah, gin and tonic, that's right.
Brilliant. All right, Ed, can you kick us off, please, with the usual, what is your current role in the club? How long have you been at CICC?
Right, so I have been at CICC, and I worked this out the other day listening to Frecknell since 2008.
God. 12 years.
And my role, I love the fact you asked me this, Alex. It's so kind of you. My role is an old custodian of the club. I am the Finesmaster for the last couple of years, which I was sort of got into, which is the toughest role on the committee. And
correct.
And then it takes an extraordinary amount of dedication, accuracy, ability, thought, creativity. All these things that I possess in bags.
You've definitely grown into the role of Finesmaster after your first couple of seasons of doing absolutely nothing, watching me, learning. Maybe you could say. Now you've really come into your own.
I think I encouraged you a lot, Josh. I think we made each other what we are today.
You're a great cheerleader.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah,
you look good. It's like her too.
You certainly complement each other, I will say that.
That's lovely. So that's about as formal as it's got for me, but turning out relatively regularly for the band that is Clapham. I was remembering my first game the other day which was out in Wales, but I'm sure you'll ask me about that later.
Really? Oh,
okay, we will.
Yeah.
We will.
Well, if Alex is going to, yeah, great.
Yeah, well, I think I will. Eventually. Before that one, though, because I assume that's not your first memory of cricket. I assume being British, you have some memory of cricket before, well, let's hope, before Wales. So what is your earliest memory of cricket? When you can remember cricket actually being a thing growing up?
So I started playing cricket at about age 10. Although I think I'd probably tried to hit a tennis ball in the garden a fair time before that. But first properly started playing when I was about 10. So when I was at school, I was pretty hopeless at sport as a starter, football and all that sort of stuff. I started trying to play, and I was just absolutely useless. Thought I would never play any sport. And then one day we sort of picked up a cricket ball, a bit like you described the other week, Alex. Sort of net started at school when we were about 10 or something, and just sort of picking the ball in the nets. And I don't know, it was just kind of could half do it, and I was put into the under 11 C team, which was the height of achievement for me sports wise at that time.
Still is, right?
At school, yeah, that's right. Is, yeah. And my memories are of honing my cover drive with a tennis ball in the school tennis courts. That was probably the
well, it's
first
work
thing
because you do famously have the most beautiful cover drive when you connect in the club.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
So really, I don't have a grandmother in the back garden like Frecknell had or anything like that. But I just remember sort of starting off at school and the first time thinking, bloody hell, I can, I might be able to play a team sport here. This is all right. This is quite good fun. So kind of got into it from there, really. So and remained in C teams for a fair while, and that's how I got here.
I think Clapham Inn is the equivalent of a C team. I think that's a pretty good level for us, I reckon.
Yeah.
Well, we've got enough C's in our title, so I think it's
exactly.
It's just like it's repeating that it's really driving it home, isn't it? Like there's no escaping. C. No, you're a C team.
It's either that or the J team.
Accept it. Yeah.
CICC, love it.
I can't believe we didn't bring that up with Frecknell last week, mate. The running joke throughout this club, the CICC. We should definitely. I can't believe we didn't bring that up.
It's my favourite joke in the club.
Yeah,
apart from the club itself.
Brilliant. Speaking of favourite jokes, I guess, Ed, 12 years at the club. Would you like to share some highlights and possibly lowlights for us in any particular order?
Oh, mate. So, as I was saying, I first played out in Wales. So I got involved in the club because Rydian Hollands and James Frecknell, who I went to university with, basically dragged me in here. Well, no, I badgered them and they let me play. Because they had the Wales tour we used to do back in the noughties, and I ended up going out to Wales. Turned up in some horrendous shorts and quickly gained a nickname Show Off, which died rather fast. I'm glad that none of you have picked up on that one in the last few years.
Until now.
Yeah, and then watched Tony Butcher hit 200 off 40 overs and got completely the wrong idea of what Clapham cricket is all about.
Were you there for his 200?
Yeah, that was my first game. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
what? Wow.
It was bonkers. So I was sort of sitting there going, because Freckers and Ridder got me involved, going, oh yeah, it's a bit of fun. Come along. And then Tony hit 200 and I thought, this is interesting. And then we stayed overnight at Pete Evans' house. No, we didn't. Sorry, we had a late night at Pete Evans' house. The China Olympics were on, the Beijing Olympics. I remember sitting there in the middle of the night, very, very drunk, next to Rian, trying to watch some Olympics and not really knowing what sport was on the TV. And then we headed back to Frecker's friend's house, stayed there, got up in the morning, and I was asked to open the bowling at, I think it was Bradford or something, and could hardly make it to the wicket. It was a horrendous day. So that was the other end of it. Me hardly being able to make it to the wicket following Tony hitting 200 was a bit of a weekend contrast.
Oh my God. It's a great debut.
Yeah, it was a great, fantastic debut.
I didn't know there were tours to Wales.
There were tours to Wales back in the day.
That's amazing.
Do you mind if we just go
My daughter's come to see us.
Hello.
Or you just go run the bath?
You go run the bath. That's right. I'm having a chat with these guys.
Hey,
I'm telling you about my cricket memories.
I've never done it before.
It's not too hard.
Perfect.
No, my love, sorry.
For the listeners' benefit, Ed's daughter has just yanked the headphones out of Ed's ears.
I didn't expect that level of interruption when I warned you about interruption earlier. Sorry, guys. So that was the first tour. That's where I was. And then, I played for Kingston. First game in the UK was against Kingston Methodists, ironically, and given my subsequent history with that fixture. And then, I remember Ebbers playing that day. I remember Ebbers with his big handshake. Now he comes with his big handshake. I remember meeting Rob Ebbers. So those early days were great. But yeah, there's loads of stuff with the club. I mean, basically I've enjoyed playing with you all lots over time, and you joining Alex, all you guys have joined in the last kind of 10 years and got involved, and seeing it change and grow. It's been brilliant, actually. It's been really quite something. And what it's become. I don't know. I just enjoy being out there with you all, frankly, having the odd hit. So in a way, highlights, highlights sort of come and go, but it's quite good fun doing it all. Presentations with you, Josh, that's quite a laugh. The old end of season do and the Fines presentation.
I must say,
I love
it says a lot that my highlights for the club are generally not on the cricket pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that Fines presentation last year was brilliant. But I'm sad not doing it this year. Not that there's anything to find, really.
I've been thinking about that, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we're so systematic and precise in how we do it anyway that, well, not having any cricket shouldn't stop us having a fine session, right? I mean,
absolutely. Yeah, end of season will still happen regardless.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the level of detail you guys put into those Fines presentations is mind-blowing at this point. It's definitely more detail than what we put into practicing and actually playing the game, I would say.
Oh, absolutely.
They are outstanding. This is something I think all of us look forward to every single year. Do you have a what's the favorite fine you've ever dealt out?
You're testing my memory now.
Wow, stolen one of my questions, Alex, but sure, yeah.
Oh, no. I've got it, 100% got it. It's when it's actually on Josh's video when we find him in Goodrich for making the film. And that,
Find me for
moment,
making a 60-minute feature. Yeah,
I love the fact that you caught that on film as well. It was the momentary thought of, can I do this? Fuck it, we're doing it. Here we go.
I thought it was going to be the fine, which is also in that film, where I get fined for not checking the toilets to see if there's any cricketers in there before offering to 12th man.
Yeah. I mean, any time we find twos, that's always easy.
So just for listeners that aren't affiliated with the club in some way, twos is we're not fining a person for running two. There's a bloke in our club named James Twos, so anything to do with twos is obviously going to be a fine, and even if he doesn't run two, then he gets a fine. That's the way that it goes.
We're so clever, aren't we? So clever. Josh, what's your favourite?
Oh, it's so difficult. One of my favourites last year was when Joel got sacked by Greg James, Felix White, and England's greatest ever bowler Jimmy Anderson live on Tailenders. A slightly, arguably more professional podcast than even us. That was definitely one of my favourite finds for Joel getting sacked live on a podcast.
I was going to say we find him this year because do you remember the match when we got bowled out really quickly in 2020? We were playing in Dulwich and we find DB for basically allowing Long On to look after his kids, and then Joel turned around to Maureen, Dave's wife, and said, "Your kids are good looking. How did that happen?" Not quite contemplating exactly what he was saying. Terrible guy.
And that was the match where there was the pre-game bestiality fine.
Correct. Yeah, that was you.
For Joel's dog, while I was getting changed out of what I thought was everyone's line of sight, I was getting changed and Joel's dog came and licked my bum. That was a pretty strong fine. Yeah.
Lola is a classy lady.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Speaking, we were talking a little bit about the Goodrich film a couple of minutes ago. There, Ed, did you have to do a lot of rehearsals in your role as the villain for that film?
Came naturally, mate.
My dad would say on watching that film and seeing that scene of you, the slow zoom into you eating cakes in slow motion, my dad just said, "God, that guy's creepy." Like, wow, yeah, got it, Dad. You got it.
Yeah,
nailed.
Yeah, I
nailed it.
I particularly enjoyed that film. I've watched it a fair bit quietly by myself. And, tried to show it to my whole family at Christmas. I think a few of us did that, actually. It went down. They didn't enjoy it quite as much as me. But hey, I thought it was brilliant. Kudos.
That was fun.
Yeah. So you mentioned a nickname at the top, which I actually hadn't heard of before. The only nickname I know you by is Radar. I'm not sure if there are any others, but could you explain this nickname to us? How does one get a nickname such as Radar?
Well, you know, Alex, I do everything very precisely in life, and that includes my bowling. I've always considered myself to be a proficient all-rounder, but sadly the club tends to disagree that my bowling has any accuracy to it, and therefore the nickname Radar. And do you know what? I was looking down the stats the other day at the runs per over per bowler, and I think I'm about the highest on the list, largely due to probably wides, etc.
There's a lot of 5 wides.
Yeah. Do you know there was a year when we went to the 2020 tournament in Prague, and I noticed that Clack wouldn't bowl me because he'd clearly analysed his stats beforehand and gone, that Gregory.
So
I remember
Clack.
that. What year did we go to Prague? It's got to be at least 7 years since then.
Yeah.
I remember it. Captain Clack wouldn't bowl me in 2020. Anyway, so that's it.
If he was keeping, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You can't get to those wides.
Right? Interestingly, though, it is a cricket-based nickname, which is rather unusual for our club. It actually does refer to my ability on the cricket field.
Yeah.
That's true. That is odd. That's something else. Josh, questions?
Yeah, I've got a few. First of all, is your bat still held together with nails and glue?
Yep. My favourite cricket bat. Are we allowed to mention brands on this show? Are we BBC here? Or,
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Market it all. So
We can mention brands.
as you know, my wife sent me down to Village Chapman Hall about 7 years ago to get a cricket bat made for me, which was the highlight of my life. And
Very sweet.
And yeah, it is still held together by nails. I've actually been, whilst in lockdown, researching how to repair cricket bats properly. I've been watching a lot of videos, and I think I might take it up.
Wait, are nails and glue not the right way?
Apparently not. That's the Rob Eberstein official way. He did the same earlier. That's why.
Of course he did.
But, I'm going to get myself a draw knife, set up my bench in the garden. and start making
Nice. That sounds really great.
No, what I have done on lockdown, which I should say quietly in this house because I'm not sure it's known, is I obsessively looked at cricket bat websites, and I did actually online purchase myself a needless cricket bat, which I was trying to find exactly the same bat I used to have, but sadly it's not, so I'm sending it back. But you can't really buy cricket bats online. But yeah, my bat is still held together by nails and glue, and will be this season, and hopefully it lasts because I won't score many runs.
Well, thanks. Excellent answer. So Alex has kind of covered the FA fines, and then I did want to ask you whether you want to bowl spin or seam in the future, seeing as you do seem to be struggling somewhat in your own mind to decide which is better, especially after taking 4 wickets at Marlow so beautifully.
See, my problem, Josh, is I'm sort of Alan Donald stuck in Mark Elam's body, if you know what I mean. So it's
that is an amazing thought, Ed.
I have the desire, and if I could do anything, I would bowl supremely fast. I think it just looks so beautiful. You watch them doing it, and it's just brilliant. But I clearly won't ever achieve that. So I think it's going to have to be spin, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're a great spin bowler. I'd go with that.
Thanks, mate. From hat-trick hero, that's high praise.
Well, you know. I was famously bowling leg spin on my hat-trick, I think. Actually, I have no idea.
Well,
probably
wasn't. Yeah, exactly. That's why I mentioned it. Really spin. But I want James Toos as my wicketkeeper for the rest of the time, though, because 3 of those wickets are basically his. Stumped, caught, brilliant.
True.
One.
Yeah. I mean, if I was keeping, you would have had 1 wicket in that match. The bowl.
Yeah, and let's not talk about if Clack was, I mean.
He'd have got in front of the stumps and stopped the bowl. Right, so in Goodrich last year, 2019, you had a particularly brilliant performance with the bat. Would you care to talk to the listeners through your Goodrich 2019?
I missed this on my Clapham highlights, didn't I?
Yeah, cleverly.
Goodrich. Well, it won't take long to talk through it. The best part of that innings was when two good moments when Matt Goodman really didn't want to give me out for my second golden duck of the weekend. But knew he's such a good man. He knew he had to. He just knew that finger had to go up. In all honesty,
and he's too honest. Yeah.
I've given some interesting umpiring decisions in my time for this club, but I thought that was quite a good one, and
it was good.
That was an interesting moment. And then
sorry, go on.
Do you want to talk about the third one now? Do you?
I I've really enjoyed the third one because Ed, 2 golden ducks in 2 innings, but then because we were getting trounced so badly, they said, "Oh, guys, just go round again and see if you can get the total," which is humiliating in a million ways. But then you going out to bat and everyone knowing that you're on a third potential golden duck in 3 innings in 2 days, crowded round, including me filming it. I was at mid-off, I think. And you brilliantly left it. And no wicket, fine. And then everyone kind of resumed normal positions, fine. And then, you got out for second ball, which I thought was so great.
What I love about that is your faith in me. You stopped filming after I left that first ball, so you didn't get the third duck, did you?
No, I just got you sauntering off the pitch.
Exactly. Okay, that's cricket.
Good. No, it was a great weekend to watch you bat. So, just a quick one. If you had to choose a current England player to present Fines with you, seeing as I'm no longer going to be doing it, who would you choose?
Current England team.
Wow, really giving us some thought.
It's got to be Jack Leach, hasn't it?
Nice. To present Fines end of season. Yeah, Jack Leach is a great shout. I think he'd be up for a laugh. Yeah.
Well, he just strikes me as a kind of guy who would, he's a good sidekick, isn't he? Ben Stokes would say so, eh?
And Somerset lad, he's good sense of humour.
Yeah. I can't think of anyone else in that team, though.
That's good. That's fine. So you are a solid 8th, Ed, on the CICC all-time batting list. And you're just 2,983 runs behind Tony Butcher. So I've done some maths. So at your current and very commendable average of 23.8, it's going to take you 125 more games to catch him up. And I just wanted to know if you're prepared to put in the hard work.
No. James Frecknell's a target.
No. That's much more feasible.
No. We started playing at the same time as James. Whenever you look at that list, although I think he's ahead of me on both bowling and batting at the moment, but whenever you look at that list, he's my marker.
Okay, that's fair.
Frecknell's like the level of the tide for me. If I'm in trouble, if I'm over it, it's all good.
I'm just chasing you.
I think Frecknell is kind of a marker for many of us in so many different ways, just as being a general bloke.
Then my final question for you, Ed. So I think you're the most stylish batsman in our club. Scores aside, you tend to look the best doing it. So I'd like to know, if aliens came down and they happened upon a CICC match, which is an unfortunate thought in many respects, you had to choose an opening batsman to partner you, past or present CICC, to impress upon them how beautiful a game cricket can be. Who would you choose?
James Battersby in a heartbeat.
Excellent choice.
Very solid choice.
Excellent choice.
Did you guys ever see him bat?
Oh yeah, it was a joy to watch him bat or bowl.
I haven't seen him in a game situation, but I met him and saw him bat once in the nets and bowled to him, and he's the most frustrating person to bowl to because you let it go, and in your mind you sort of think, oh, that's quite a good. No, that's 4.
Yeah,
and then you do it again. And you're like, you bowled it, and it's going down. You're like, oh, that one maybe. No, that's probably he's probably hit that for 6.
And then
it looks like he's not trying, and they rock
exactly.
it. Fucking bat.
That's it.
Like, what the hell?
No one's ever timed a cricket ball better than James Battersby, I don't think. Good choice, Ed. Nice. So Alex,
I've got my. I can give you my various Clapham 11s if you like. My best ever Clapham 11. The Clapham 11 I'd most like to play with. They're all on the phone. It's fine. I don't spend my idle hours doing this sort of thing or anything.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's my questions, Alex.
Oh, done. Lovely. Okay, Ed. So you've listened to the show a couple of times now. You mentioned so 3 categories. It's time for Articulate. So your 3 categories once again. Equipment and grounds, on field, and DB's wheelhouse. Which would you like, sir?
I'd love to go for DB's wheelhouse. We had that last week, didn't we?
We did, and it did not go well.
Equipment. Let's do. What was it? Equipment and grounds was number 1. What was number 2?
On field.
On field. Let's do on field. That sounds good.
Okay.
On field, no worries. Okay. I have something special for us, guys. I have made a timer. I've made an actual timer.
High production value now. We just need
Beautiful.
DB's trombone theme tune and we're sorted.
You see it. You wait till you see it. High production values. Can you see that?
I can see that timer. Wow. Jesus Christ. That is a thing.
It's something special.
For the listeners, it's a black and white cricket ball with the Village Idiots logo kind of embossed onto it, and then a big timer in the middle of the cricket ball.
Showing 0-0 as if you're continuing to mock me.
Nice.
Of course, it wouldn't be a timer if there wasn't a sound. So there's a couple of special things about this timer when I was making it. I'll just give a quick little. Every second is denoted by this sound. Do you have any idea what that sound might be?
An edge.
Close. That is the sound of me middling one to the fence on my way to 76 against ISIS a couple of years ago.
Wow.
Just repeated over and over. So every second is that. And at the end of the 60 seconds, you get the sound of everyone cheering for me when I reach my 50 in that match. So that's the end of the timer countdown.
Really went down a self-indulgent memory lane there.
I did. I mean, it's weird for me, isn't it? But yeah. So every single week now when we play our Criculate, we get to hear the sound of me cracking one to the boundary over and over and over because, I mean, let's be honest, it happens quite rarely. And then I also get to hear everyone cheering me for getting my one and only career 50. And it's, but I thought you guys might like it as well.
Absolutely.
What can I say? I'm a generous guy. Ed, have you received the link yet through WhatsApp?
Yes.
Lovely. Great. So just click on rerun when you want a new one. You understand the rules to our Criculate, sir?
No, I don't understand any of the rules. I've listened to it twice and I still don't get it.
Okay, so you have a word there, something to do with cricket. You need to explain or describe this word to Josh Shinner. He is going to try and guess the word. You may not use rhymes with, you may not use any starts with, you may not use, obviously, any of the words that are within your word. That's about it.
Right.
Make sense?
So I can't use a word. Okay, yeah, I kind of get it. I can describe a word that's within the word, though, right?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, good, got it. So describe. All right,
okay.
Got it. I think I'm there.
Lovely. So 60 seconds on the clock. Josh, you ready?
I'm ready.
Ed, are you ready?
Totally ready.
Lovely. Let's play our Criculate. Go.
Right, so I'm going to split this word into two for you, Josh. The second half of it is the opposite of under.
Over.
Yeah, and the first letter is like a salty thing which has waves on it.
Oh, C. What? Sorry. Has waves on it. C.
Yeah. The first letter is
Oh my God, pass.
something you put over your bike when it rains.
Cover.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's a fisherman's...
Ridiculous.
The fisherman uses this to catch fish.
A net.
No, on the end of his rod, on the end of his string.
Hook, sorry.
Yes.
Hook.
It's not a beautiful shot. It's when you sort of slap it over the mid-wicket and it doesn't look very nice.
God, I can't get a cow cord. Hoik.
No, if you cut down a tree, you get a,
Pass, quick, next one.
the thing you play cricket on.
Wicket, pitch.
Pitch, yeah.
Okay, you got that one. We started.
I'll give pitch. I think he managed to get it in there.
Sorry.
as the sounds
That was
of the cheers ring out. Wow. Ed,
Yeah.
3.
that
Yes.
was atrocious.
Did Goodman get
Wow.
5 in 30 seconds? 4 in 30 seconds.
Sorry, your cover clue was absolutely terrible.
I've never heard anyone. Yeah, I've never heard anyone play Articulate and go down the whole first letter sounds like route before you were trying to do letter by letter for cover.
Good, excellent. That was
Okay,
an
so-
absolute shit show.
Well done.
So guys, how much of this is actually usable audio?
Oh, I think there's probably 4 or 5 minutes in that.
Okay, so current leaderboard, we have Frecknell on 5, Ed on 3, and Matt is currently sitting on 4. However, he needs to redo his last 30 seconds, or according to, we had a bit of a protest at me saying it was 30 seconds because since then the episode has been listened to and we found out that he went a little bit over at the end, so I got to cut it up. But basically it's just Frecknell making my life a little bit harder, but that's fine, mate. I live for that stuff. It's all good.
Alex, I just realised, are you going to announce that order every week? So I'm going to remain bottom every
Correct.
time you do this show until somebody gets 2.
Correct.
Oh,
Yes.
dear.
This is a determining batting order for 2021, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have taken it so much more seriously. Joel's gone. This is my chance.
Indeed. What, to get a greater run than 3 ducks in a row.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, just before we leave off and depart, obviously, thank you so much for today, Ed Greggs. Guys, we have Twitter now. We are at Village CICC, and we've also got an email address, villageidiotcicc@gmail.com, if you'd like to send through any questions or whatever, because, hey, maybe it's going out further than the club now, but still keep it in the WhatsApp if you're in the club. Yeah, don't
Is
do
it though?
Yeah. You never know. Maybe in a year's time. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, cool. Anyway, Ed, thank you very much for talking to us today. It's been great, mate.
It's been brilliant.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks very much, Ed. You're a wonderful guest and a gentleman, and your shirt is undone far too far.
We love it.
Very 70s.
Cool.
Josh, thank you as always, mate.
No, thank you.
Thanks everyone for listening. Goodbye.